I'm really jamming to our background music today. Hello, friends. Today, we are going over Swamp Thing issues. Oh no, I didn't think about the numbers. That is actually their title. That's what they're called. Oh, hey, I like your handlebar mustache. I wasn't paying attention. Nice. What is this, 9 and 10? 10 and
9
11?
and 10, yes.
9 and 10, rad. I am going to be the one that's going to be going over the first issue because I'm very excited by it. I definitely should have reread it before.
Yeah, I didn't reread them either.
I meant to, and I set aside time to, and then I got distracted by roommates. So I thought about it. The thought was
got distracted by a nap.
I also napped today. Aw, nap twins. I passed out so bad. Seeing if Jake will watch the replay, but thank you, Jake. Sorry you won't be here today. But this is the last time. Oh, Jake's actually here. Jake lied to me. I know. So this is the last time Wrightson is actually on this, right? And then we have another like dozen without it. Oh, it was last week.
It's 11. I think 11 is his last issue, so we're gonna get a style change.
Okay, that'll be fun.
But these are the last. This is the last full week with him.
Yeah, for some reason I thought we had a clean break with him. But these definitely I feel like highlight a lot of like the very specifically Wrightson goodness. So I think it's kind of a fun era to end up on. I thought that maybe like I would feel like rushed and overworked towards the end, and perhaps that was like a reason for leaving. I actually don't know why. We'll be going for that next time. But yeah, I feel like this is a lot of his strengths, his like weird critters and stuff, you know?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff where Swamp Thing is very strongly supernatural book and not without so much of like the meta themes that you kind of get with later pieces of his lore, or however you want to look at it, where they really build on top. This is just a classic kind of monster story. Like this Swamp Thing could have fit in the same neighborhood as the Universal monsters.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the specifically kind of classic monster stuff, because I feel like a lot of people, when they think monsters, they don't think like a sad, poetic creature.
I think there's a layer to that underneath everything, and certainly when you look at the creators themselves who put the stuff into them, like Bram Stoker or Mary Shelley, I think that kind of gets amplified a bit. But this being a collaboration between multiple, it's Ryan.
He's giving his heart. He's giving me his muscles.
Wow, that was threatening.
I do have really strong muscles. Ryan, I'm excited because you get to see a little guy, and I really like him. If the thumbnail worked, you will have seen him in the thumbnail. I really like him. He's just a little fella. All right, so these are the guys we were talking about today. Gorgeous covers. The one on the left here, number 9, is like one of the most popular Wrightson covers in this run. I like it just because like it's really like it's a really classic. So I tried to
love the color on it.
Everyone say hi to my dad. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Mom.
I love the trade dress on that one, and also like I didn't know until I was specifically trying to make this thumbnail. But I was trying to find a full pose of Wrightson Swamp Thing. And it's really hard. Like, it never happens in this run. Like, it's always
full body standing.
Yeah, it's almost never. Yeah, it was I was trying to get a picture of him so that it would be him next to the little critter, and it was just, damn, like, this is hard. Like, I just wanted to grab, like, snoop a panel right out. Yeah. It's Mom. Hi, Mom. It's hi, Mother Tessa.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hello, Mother.
I spoke to my own mom earlier, so I got my bases covered.
I watched Alien, and the ship is called Mother, so.
Mother!
All right, so let's crack into these guys. People are way too hard on simple covers. See, yeah, that's part of the reason I like the 9. I feel like it's very like strong. It's a simplicity. All right, so we start off this book, and Swampy is leaving his previous destination via train. You know, just little vagabond hopped in on it, and this is the first page. But I personally think that this next page looks like way stronger of a first page. I don't know why I'm echoey. Nothing has changed. Yeah, I feel like the one on the right actually suits how these pages usually start off with like a really strong image, because usually like you're supposed to be at a newsstand in like the 70s and 80s, flip it open to the first page, and then be like, ooh, all right, yeah, I want to check this out. So I feel like I was surprised when that was the first page, and then this was
From my own sketches, I like to do that little sneaky writing inside the picture. So I love the first frame, like that setup there, and it's what they did with like that beautiful like full page with the clock and the desktop. That's one of my favorite things of this whole thing so far. But to what you're saying, oh, Ryan just laid some knowledge down on you.
Nerd.
Well, yeah. But to what you're saying, grabbing the attention at the newsstand, I think two guys getting thrown out of a train car covers that.
You have to like read what's going on. So that is what happens here. So two dudes see some guy huddled up in a trench coat, and they're like, yeah, all right, we gotta mug this guy real quick. And like they're not trying to kill him, trying to get like his money or whatever. And then, you know, this 7-foot behemoth of moss comes out and is like, leave me alone.
And they're in the same train car, but they just noticed that dude. So he must have already been in there when they hopped on, because otherwise, like, oh, this guy just got on the same time. They would have figured that out a lot quicker if they got on at the same stop.
Well, to be fair, I think he's like trying to hide. Like I think he's like,
yeah, he's still doing the Ben Grimm thing.
Ben Grimm thing, yeah. I
but
totally
that sound effect, quorum, like I've never thought of wood breaking like that.
So these two dudes try to mug Swampy. Swampy's like, leave me alone, you loser. It
doesn't go well.
Yeah, he shoves them out, and then of course he makes a silly comment of like, he'll be fine. The ground's really soft and nice. He's like, oh god, it is so soft, and he starts like falling and tumbling down. Honestly, extremely funny. Like imagine seeing this.
This is where I would have liked to see the sound effects, like.
And we also flash back to Abigail and Matt.
Can we go back for a second?
Sure.
Swamp ass. Okay, so
first off, I want to talk about the 70s bathing suit, because that's not something you're going to bring up. This is what a style icon. Abby's a little hottie. I thought she was like wearing like depressing like large sweaters all the time, much like me right now. But I think the thing that you're going to talk about is like, does this insinuate something more than like some strange work partnership?
Yeah, because like I don't know. That's to me, like, I don't have the perspective of the 70s, no matter what my mustache says. But that doesn't say coworker kind of attire right there.
Hey, if my parents are still here, can you let us know how normal it would be to go to the beach in like a bikini and swim trunks with coworkers? Is that normal back then?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still here, but
I don't go to the beach, period. That's why I glisten.
I was about to make the same joke about you. Yeah, that's why you glow, you know?
Yeah.
Show up under black light.
Yeah. All I need to draw attention to is this t-shirt. It's cool as hell.
Nice.
Yeah. Number 3 on Earth, number 1 in heaven.
Yeah, they're chilling on the beach, and it seems like it is purely for fun.
They're chilling on the beach until they're not really chilling because of the weather, and then it gets ruined anyways.
I went to the beach this past August. I saw no one in a business suit. Well, as you can see, Matt Crane is here only wearing his muscles. He has muscles on muscles. Yeah. And so, you know, I think Matt Crane is kind of a drama queen, because he's like, oh God, someone's coming towards me. I bet they're going to make me do work. And then they come over and he's like, gosh, oh, my life is over. They're making me do stuff again. Like he's just having like a full conniption.
Who isn't like that when they have to actually do work though?
Look at the pose he has in this last panel. Like how dramatic is that?
Exactly. That's what we were saying as far as like the classic monsters and the Shakespearean kind of aspect.
Yeah, literally like
foul work.
Hey dude, we need to help us out with something scary. And he's like, ugh, my life is so hard.
Yeah, and he's just like that dude's like, I gotta get some seaweed out of my socks.
All right, comic hinterlands. Does that change if your coworker is a hot blonde like Abigail Arcane?
Is she a
Drama
blonde?
King. What do you call someone with white hair?
White hair? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not blonde.
Semantics. I don't know. I think if someone's like platinum blonde, like that's.
Oh yeah, because no one's ever talked about semantics with comic books.
Okay, fine, whatever. See, there we go. See if it's a hot white haired lady, counts. So same.
Would you call Storm a blonde?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Then sure.
I mean, like if someone asked me what color hair she had, I would say white.
Yeah.
But if I'm just referring to like that, yeah, I would say like, yeah, she's like blonde. Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I would probably say like platinum or like white blonde. Like white blonde's a thing.
I didn't know that.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you just talking out of your butt right now?
Am I talking about my butt?
Yeah.
White blonde?
Are you talking out of your butt coming up with
Out
terms
of my
like
butt,
white
yes.
blonde?
I was about, and I was like, what? Jimmy Olsen's mom was a platinum blonde. Okay, Jimmy Olsen's mom.
All right, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. And so this is the very stereotypical like military dude you think about when it's like an 80s movie. You know, he's got like the blonde flat top, got a big cigar out of his mouth. He's like, "Hey, bud."
Yeah.
And I think at this point I'm starting to realize that like Matt Crane is like, he's not a bad guy. He's just not like a great dude, you know? Like he's just a dude, which is fine. I think there should be more representation of just guys.
He's just doing his thing.
He just kind of gets like annoyed, you know, and that's okay. He's just a guy. I like that they're not making him up to be perfect. But
by the way, that editorializing there, you unidentified flying objects. Like I'm reading a comic book. I think I already know that.
But when was that? When was like a UFO established as a term?
Well, you might need to look that up.
All right. You look that up, and I will do.
Right.
I'll do this thing. Military guy looks like Duke with a cigar. Yeah, I feel it.
A little bit like Guile from Street Fighter 2.
And so this guy's coming in. He's like, "Hey, dude, I know you've been working on this whole swamp thing shebang, but we seem like we've literally found an actual spaceship in the same area. We don't want to step on our toes, and so we want your help in this area since you know better than us. So let's go check it out." And he's like, "Wait, do you mean like a spaceship? And the guy's like, "Yeah, like, you know, green guys from Mars, spaceship, let's go." And then meanwhile, we flash back to Louisiana and Swamp Thing. And
1953.
Okay. All right. You probably know.
I think it would have been in popular culture by the mid-70s, like for this.
Enough that like the people reading a comic are probably enough in the same situation of like, you know, they know. So like maybe like a 7-year-old wouldn't know this back then, but like your average like 10 to 30-year-old grabbing this probably would.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hi. Great name.
Name changes.
And so we flash back to Louisiana, and Swamp Thing is going into, I believe, specifically the old science building where the whole beginning of Swamp Thing started.
The lab, yeah.
And happened.
It's just by coincidence that the UFO is there.
I mean, it was obviously emptied out because, you know, Alec Holland tragically dying, his wife tragically dying, a whole fire. So I kind of insinuated that it was like burned to the ground at this point, but I guess I thought wrong. And so it's been emptied out because no one's using it after that. Honestly, if you were in that area, you're probably like, oh, you don't want to go up down that street. Like, that's where all the spooky stuff happens. And so when this little critter lands, he's like, oh, well, I need to fix up my ship. I'm going to go pull it into this nice little safe barn. And I'm going to piece it all together here. We're calling them UFOs in the 60s. See, there we go. That's a good note. And then this is the guy. I love him so much.
That is the guy.
He is the guy. I wish like we got stats on him the same way we got Swampy early on. I love his space shoot.
Oh yeah, I like that. You get a little of that. We know that they're basically the same size as Swampy.
They're basically the same size in his suit, though.
Yes. Okay, so that it stands as tall as I am, and it must outweigh me by several hundred pounds.
Yeah. He seems like thinner. Like the suit's very like baggy.
Aside from the obvious, holy crap, this is a cool looking dude. I love this page because of the narration with it. lacking any certain knowledge of its proper gender, we will call this creature it, nor will we feel it any insult to the creature's obvious intelligence for doing so, for it is equally frustrated in attempting to determine the identity of the muck-encrusted monstrosity we have come to know so well. But the Swamp Thing, fortunately, is at no such uncomfortable loss for words. So Swampy has this awareness from 50 years ago that someone is standing in front of him. He doesn't know how to identify them, so he's using a neutral term.
They do actually like a lot of that in this run, I feel like.
The G-Men don't, though. They all refer to the alien as he.
Well, the G-Men suck. I'm gonna call it they out of spice for that annotation. But yeah, I love this guy. I love his very like retro, like futuristic space age
That
style
is
stuff.
very pulpy kind of design.
I love it. I love his face. I love that Bernie Wrightson. So my favorite thing about I love horror for people who don't know. And like my favorite things, if it's movies, it's special effects. Or practical effects, excuse me, not special effects. And I really like
practical effects or special effects.
Yeah, but special effects often they more include like tech stuff, and like practical is like I want the cool shit. But yeah, so I like really cool creature design. And typically, if I see something as like humanoid, I think it is immediately less interesting. Bernie Wrightson is the thing that turns that on its heels. Where like, yes, this is humanoid, but everything else has changed. Like I like the way he plays with that. And he plays with that with like the weird minions from Arcane, even though those are just like messed up little guys that are tortured.
Yeah.
Like, he's good at making them humanoid, but not just like.
Well, they're humanoid because they're made out of recycled human parts.
And it's still so interesting.
Yeah.
Like visually.
But to what you're saying, like the suit itself kind of reminds me of like all the retro kind of stuff. And most recently that I can think of it is Rick Remender's Fear Agent that was drawn by Tony Moore and Jerome Pena. Like same kind of bubble helmet, orange suit kind of stuff, like has a pistol nearby somewhere. But then to what you're saying about like the humanoid form and everything, what comes to mind recently is actually Grant Morrison's Green Lantern run, because Grant really...
That's Liam Sharp on the art too, right?
That was Liam Sharp on the art, doing the traditional pencil inking, not the fully painted work like Liam's been doing lately. But they do these incredible designs. Like one of the Green Lanterns is a living volcano, so everything that they say comes out with like a bubbling like of magma. That was one of my favorite new characters from reading that.
That's so interesting. That's just from the like 12-issue run called The Green Lantern?
I was thinking of it collectively, so it's Green Lantern Season 2, and then
so within that stuff,
Dark Stars that bridges them. So it's like 28 issues altogether with the miniseries and the annual.
Okay.
What last great Green Lantern stuff that I wrote, but I'm out of date with Green Lantern reading.
I actually love Green Lantern right now, and I don't like Green Lantern. The John Stewart War Journal run is by Phil Kennedy Johnson. And then
I gotta get to that on your recommendation, but you know how read piles go.
Start off because it's only 12 issues, but the Green Lantern just run by Jeremy Adams right now. It kind of starts off in the backups in that, and it gets you like interested. So maybe like start that and go there. I'm catching up on the actual Green Lantern right now, and I like it. Like Green Lantern's pretty cool right now.
Good to know. I've fallen way out of Green Lantern love. Like I was no joke the biggest Green Lantern fan I knew at one point, and I just burnt myself out on it so hard.
I'm catching up on every single new comic right now for reasons I'll go over with you later if I haven't. So I'm just getting on everything. Yeah, true. Green Lantern lore does get weirder and weirder, but I think that's supposed to be part of its charm. It's always been weird. I like that's the thing I like about it.
You can't say that a book with Gil Kane on it wasn't
Gil Kane
weird.
And Constantine. But Green Lantern was exactly a thing of just, hey, like this is all these space creatures, but almost always it's going to be like human or humanoid. Obviously, you get a few cool ones, but not for many years. Like just talking about like Silver Age Green Lantern.
Arisia, the whole twist is like almost 100% regular human, except she aged slower
Yeah,
and had 20
which
years.
made it creepy. Like,
It got a little creepy there, yeah.
no, I'm trying. I do not usually read like every single comic. Working on it. But yeah, so this guy, Be Still My Beating Heart, I love him. Not only is he a good-looking individual, they also are great of soul. And so Swamp Thing, to be fair, this is not Swamp Thing's finest moment. In fact, I will say it's probably one of his worst. To be fair, he is
Yeah, I would
in
agree.
emotional turmoil right now. Like he is like in the place where his life fell apart, and he's like, everyone else is beating him up, so it's fair to think that someone else is gonna like just hurt him. But he's like this stupid guy, and he goes to attack him. And the alien is just like, oh well, I'm not gonna let him hurt me. So he like shoots his arm, and so his arm disintegrates. And as we realized a few issues prior, it regenerates just fine. But Swamp Thing's still being a bitch, even though all he did was like shoot the arm coming at him, and then you can see he like retracts his gun, just chills. And Swamp Thing's still like, I'm gonna break your gun.
And I think Swampy regrows his arm a lot faster.
Oh yeah.
Than
He knows what he's doing now,
Yeah, he's getting used to it.
And then this alien is not trying to harm him still, but Swamp Thing is just hooting and hollering. Like he's just doing things all over the place.
You don't have it, but the frame before the thwoom where the alien kicks him, I just love that shot because it's the angling of it is so cool.
He literally just kicks him. That's it. Like the Swamp Thing's like, I'm gonna kill you, and he just goes like, bink. And then his spaceship falls on him, seemingly killing Swamp Thing. And I really love how the alien looks in this last panel, just like, oh shit, oh what have I done?
Yeah, it gets to that point of like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
But he, as sweetly and nicely as he can, he picks up Swamp Thing, drops him into the water. Sorry for the bad crop on this picture, did not realize till now. And he just kind of senses that this Swamp Thing creature seems like he would like to be in the swamp. So he is really sad, and he just like puts him in there as gently as he can, and he just kind of like saunters off, I guess. He's like, well, I guess I'll go like finish fixing my shit. But this might happen for a little bit. All right. And then we flash back to these silly hooligans, and they see the shed, and they're like, there we go. And they jump in, also ready to shoot up this alien. So this alien is not getting a good first impression of Earth. Oh no! Ooh, okay. Well, my slides are gonna be fun. Hold on one moment. We're gonna try doing this one more time. What if I remove from studio? Sean, quick, entertain the audiences. All right, hopefully that worked. Maybe. Wow, I'm doing great. If not, I might be sawing slides because it looked like it glitched pretty hard. Yep, that's probably why it stopped.
All right, so here's Beta Ray Bill. He's my desk buddy.
I almost removed you instead of making you full screen. Oh, you have the Zatanna poster.
Yeah. I changed out a couple of posters. I need to get a couple more frames, because Becky Cloonan gave me some awesome prints at Rose City. Plus, I got this awesome corrosion and conformity poster that I need to put up somewhere.
Okay, now I think I fixed it. Once that loads up, I really hope it does, because what's coming is my favorite part of the book. Well, actually, not quite. So, these military bozos, they come in and they're like, there he is, boys, get him! And they immediately go in ready to like off him. And I think it's Matt Cable who is just like, no, wait, guys, like we're supposed to bring him in. Yeah, there we go. Kind of worked. Still a little craft, but we'll take it. But everyone's ready to like kill him, and Matt Cable is like, whoa, wait, we're supposed to bring him alive, right, guys? Like, this is important. This could teach us so many things. Like, I think Matt Cable is also like really sweet. I'm pretty sure he was thinking like we could talk to him and learn so much, and everyone else is like, we could torture him and just dissect his body and figure out how it does things. And so everyone
you can
goes
kill him so nobody else can learn from him.
Yeah. So
that's basically what it comes down to.
Hi, friend. Gorn?
Star Trek.
That's why you like Star Trek, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like Gorn.
I'm sorry, I mansplained to you a little bit there.
I don't really remember the creature names from Star Trek. My dad and I did used to watch on VHS when I was younger. But they go and ready to like smash this guy. And then the alien does not realize that these guys are weaker than Swamp Thing. He just thinks that Swamp Thing is like the average like creature on Earth. And so these guys, he's like, cool, he just bops him. And I don't think he killed him, but he just like, hurt him pretty bad. But he's sitting there like, oh shit, I was just trying to get this dude to stop.
I did not count him on my death count.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's just sitting there like, oh shit, the other guy could take a lot of hits. These guys can't. These guys are squishy. I didn't know. I'm sorry, my bad. And so he pops him. And then look at how sad he looks, all plumped over. Like, he's just looking at him like, oh no, what have I done?
That's some Charlie Brown sad music.
Exactly. He's just sitting there like, oh no, I just wanted him to stop. I'm just trying to go home. Like, this dude is just trying to fix the spaceship to leave. He accidentally crashed on Earth.
This was before ET, but it's the same kind of thing.
And so anyway, the guys got them all handcuffed up, and then they're about to like report back on the radio and be like, hey guys, we got them all tied up. We're good. We're totally gonna bring them back. We're just sleeping for the night and we'll be in. And as they are getting ready to go report, they realize, fake science stuff here of like, this one part is missing. And if you take out this one part, it doesn't work. Whatever happened to that? And your lame G.I. Joe dude here is hiding it behind his back like, wow, yeah, that's so weird. Wonder what happened there, And of course, flashing back to the deep, gross swamps and Swamp Thing, we get some really juicy, perfect Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing panels here of just bubbling, toiling water here, and his hand creeping out from below, being reborn from the same moss that made him. Hi, buddy. And again, fantastic panels here, just him popping right out. I love exactly this kind of stuff. The alien is too cute. I love him so much.
That'd be a great plushie.
Swamp Thing? Oh, the creature. Yeah, I would love him. I wish he appeared more.
What's that?
The alien. I wish he came more stuff.
Well, we can touch on that at the end of this issue.
Okay, deal. So, as I said, this guy's like, now, this is awful, too, because everyone's laying down to camp, and, like, they kind of teasingly have some arguments about the alien, but they're just, like, going to bed, and originally he was, like, kind of handcuffed or whatever. Now he's chained to a tree, so everyone lays down to sleep. He has to stand all night, which is just really cruel. And, of course, mean G.I. Joe dude is going out, and he's like, I'm going to take out this guy right now. And as he reaches out his gun, is ready to... Swamp Thing takes it and crushes it, and saves this little alien. Kind of for no reason. I don't really know what turned him around. He just kind of saw that like now he's in danger, and he's like, "Oh, that's not really fair." So like,
I think it's got to be like that unspoken thing. Like you see that connection in someone, even when it's not spoken.
Yeah, his head's back on. He's doing the right thing. He sees this, and he's like, "No, these stupid guys." I think it also made him realize that like I did the same thing and I shouldn't have.
He's kind of guilty of what everybody's been doing to him.
And, saves the little guy and breaks his chains easily because he's Swamp Thing and starts taking him back to his little ship. And then I love this, like, just really sweet moment. The alien just kind of, like, plops his hand on Swamp Thing and he's just kind of like, thanks, homie, And it's really sweet. And, he starts going up on his little ship after this, like, nice little brotherly moment. I don't understand how his ship is totally fixed now. Well, we'll get to that. And he starts going up. And then he says, as everyone is going, ready to, like, attack him, he puts them into some little force field. And he goes, no, this time it is you who will stop. Yes, I've heard enough of your language at last to communicate with you. But what I've heard sickens me. I came to you in peace, but I found only violence here. I landed here by accident, a victim of a cosmic storm. I needed only your help in repairing my ship. I would have given you much in return. But now, all I have for you is pity. And he goes up.
The pity is a little bit bigger there. Like that, there's an emphasis to it.
But yeah, he is very sweet. He's like, he's not even like trying to wish harm on them now after everything they've done. He's just like, boop. No toes, not alien. No, just stumps. Just little elephant stubs. I love him. Not in the least creepy way possible. Hey, girl, I'd like to see you out of your spacesuit because I'm really curious about what's going on under there. And so he gets on, and the little bubble, you can see it's like totally fine, not harmful, starts dissolving, and he pops on. And I'm pretty sure that they still were like, let's try to, like, they were like ready to still want to shoot it down.
Yeah.
They see this like spaceship that is so beyond whatever Earth's technology is at this moment. And it says, it makes surprisingly little sound for something so awesome, this great gleaming vessel of the stars. There is the initial roar as tongues of flame are pushed against the damp earth, the splintering crash as the shining stellar arrow erupts up through the old barn roof. And then the saddest panel, or just a series of panels, is lifting up, and they see it, and they're like, wow, this is so impressive. Like, it is just awe-striking. And it starts spiraling and spiraling until it crashes below. And I thought it was interesting that Swampy went to go kind of check out the wreckage because he clearly freaks the fuck out near fire. But I guess he was so touched that it was worth it. And still. And then I also like that this ended up being a Matt Cable moment where he watched this alien that has done nothing wrong get, I'll say tormented? Not quite tortured, but tormented.
I would say tortured, but yeah.
I don't think yet. There would have been torturing, but, you know.
There would have been just death.
I think there would have been both. I will bet. If they took him back to wherever, I mean, if they took him back to the government like they were supposed to.
Yeah.
And so I think Matt Cable saw this happen, and then the guy leaves, and then he can understand what they say, and he's like, why are you guys, like, still glad that this guy died? Didn't you hear what he said? And bratty G.I. Joe dude says, don't play so high and mighty with me, Cable. I'll bet there's something in your life you felt exactly the same way about, which is a random line if you don't know Matt Cable. That's a really strange thing to say to someone.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, don't be ridiculous. Oh my God, you're right. And realizing maybe that means he'll be less of a bitch with Swamp Thing. Who knows? I'm really curious to see how he turns into a raven. I don't know. But this is, as is common with Swamp Thing, just a really depressing end to the book. Yeah. Horribly sad. You get to meet this beautiful creature who just wanted to instill kindness onto a different planet, which kind of insinuates that other planets are relatively peaceful and they're not as war-stricken as we are. And
except for Warworld.
And even in just trying to leave this place, he still can't make it out with his life. And it's so sad. It seems so great.
So,
but I loved this issue.
How you wanted to see more of that character. Apparently, looking at like just trivia notes or stuff on this issue, the alien's spouse or partner or whatever is going to show up in a later issue.
Like this species?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's this exciting. Isn't the last you'll see of the green Stumpy.
It's going to be the last time we see him with Wrightson.
Yeah. Yep. And you are right. 10 is the last issue with Wrightson art. I just double checked that.
Okay. We will go.
Then after that, Nestor Redondo takes over.
We'll go over a little, like what were the reasons for leaving the title as like a little intro to the next one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to quick salvage this. But for now, I think there's only like 2 error photos.
Okay.
The only thing you're missing here is just that first intro page.
Yeah. Okay, so I can fill in the blanks there. Again, another awesome cover, and Tessa basically picked the issue 9 because she loved that alien dude so much, but also gave me issue 10 because I remarked how I loved the cover. I actually had this issue at one point on its own because, I don't know, it just stood in the shelf in the boxes, and I thought it looked really cool and it seemed like a deal, so I grabbed it. Not knowing anything of the material inside, not reading any of it beforehand, is just, I thought it was awesome. I got it from Tales of Adventure and
in Coopersburg.
In Coopersburg, our buddies down there, yeah. And
that place I used to super love. Not that I hate it anymore, but it just I don't go as much.
The hours are a bit weird, but
the what's weird?
Hours.
I feel like that's like normal for comic shops, though.
Yeah, that's fair too. But the other thing is, I I don't have that issue anymore, but the same day I got from them Transformers #1s, and I still have that in my collection.
More importantly.
Honestly, more importantly, like this is some Wrightson goodness, but that was Bill Sienkiewicz drawing Optimus Prime.
I do feel like you get rid of a lot of books that you buy.
Yeah, it's true. And I got more ready to go.
Here we go. I think I have fixed it again. I'm like really smart. Once that loads up. But yeah, Tales used to be my favorite shop. Again, I don't go as much anymore, like not post pandemic, but like post lockdowns.
Yeah.
They do have a really bad roof for anyone who goes there, so stuff does get water damage sometimes. But they also, you could definitely find some great goodies.
Yeah. Yeah. The same day they had those two books that I grabbed. I almost picked up a. Is that the same issue?
Did I mess up?
That's from 11.
Huh. Well.
All right. I'll just roll with it. The same day that I picked those books up, they also had a Green Lantern, Green Arrow 76 that I was looking at, and I just ended up passing on it because I had some sensibility with my spending that day.
I'm bad. Not all days, but that day.
I'm bad with money.
So hey, real question: the issue you're about to delve into, that had a lot of like slave ghosts and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, thank God. So I got one wrong image, but not entirely a wrong slideshow. Cool.
All right.
Sorry, yeah. Props. I just fixed it right now, so it's still not great.
Yeah. So what we're missing on page 1, we don't have to go over every single page, obviously, but there's this guy that's been on the lam, and his name is Hunk Dory. Fugitive number 2431975. I'm guessing there's at least one or two inside jokes there. He's a fugitive from a chain gang. In his time, he has been convicted of murdering many men, and he figures that at this late date, another victim more or less will not make a bit of difference, to where he sneaks up behind this old woman. And as Swampy makes his appearance in the book, the Swamp Thing is written into the tree trunk, and he's seeing Hunk, pull up behind this lady, to where he actually shouts out again, "No!" And she at first. Sorry about that. He at first thinks that she owns Swamp Thing, like almost like he's a pet of some sort. But Hunk takes a swing at Swamp Thing, and then it doesn't go far. Swamp Thing doesn't even retaliate. Dory just kind of collapses from, I guess, his efforts. Because he did end up passing out or even dying, because he was shot on the escape. So what we have here is she refers to herself as antediluvian, and there's a little bit of play on words there. We'll get into that, I think, towards the end. But basically, she remarks how, yeah, I guess I should be surprised at seeing a big green mossy dude, but I'm just old. I've seen a lot of shit. Like,
big vibes of like, you can't surprise me anymore. I know.
Yeah, so she goes into this story of plantation days, and I think for the presentation here, where it is Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson, two white guys in the 1970s, I would say it's at least a somewhat fair showing of what things were going on. But basically, there's the conflicts of Samson Parmenair, who ran the plantation and was abusive to his slaves.
That's so surprising. Being abusive to your slaves?
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense to me, sir.
He took to one a pretty young thing named Elspeth, and she was already promised to another whose name was Black Jubal, and Jubal actually has one full arm and one partial arm, and even with that, like he's a big dude.
Also, has really big Marvel vibes of just like, Black Adam, Black Goliath.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Lightning, I guess.
Black Lightning.
That's DC, yeah. But still, just in general of just,
what
are we going to call this character? Black superpower. Okay.
Yeah. Not subtle.
Yeah.
So Parmenair actually took Jubal's arm when he was a child. And then he ties him up to a stake and is about to burn him, but then decides to draw out the suffering, and he starts to draw. He acts like he's going to draw and quarter Jubal. Jubal makes his escape, and something, we don't even know what, takes care of Parmenair. So the old woman is telling all this to Swamp Thing, and he's just like sitting, chilling. The mustache guy looks like the imposter Mad Hatter. Oh yeah, I can see that a little bit. A little bit of that, a little bit of Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm glad that Batman Day came this year, because I could never find that Batman Elmer Fudd book.
I wish I knew.
And I am so excited to read it now, especially with the noir edition.
There is a hardcover that's just Batman by Lee Weeks and Tom King, and it just has like their little arc in Batman and that. And
is that the French one that you have?
Well, no, that's just Batman Annual 2 in French, but I think I have it over there because I was going to get it signed this weekend. So,
well, we got the noir. I got the noir edition right now. But anyways,
gorgeous cover.
Warner Brothers.
Lovely Weeks.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite artist. I don't know. He's up there.
That's a good favorite artist.
I love me. I met him at Baltimore, and I was like, I've said a bunch of times, but whenever I see him, I'm always like, Lee Weeks, I love your work. And so when I was passing him just in like the hallway, I was like, Lee Weeks, big fan. I love everything you do. Huge, you're amazing. And he was like, Tessa, I know you, Tessa. I saw one of your videos on my was that today or yesterday? I was just like, I love you. I mean, that's really neat.
All right. Well, with the storytelling hour pretty much up, Antediluvian is talking about how the eyes of the of unholy things are staring at us this very second. And
I want a sticker of this.
One thing's like, what? And I love the portrayal of his red eyes.
I want a sticker of this so bad. This should be my bumper sticker, so whenever anyone's like trying to like ride me, it's just
sticker idea, tattoo idea. Oh man, this might be a tattoo idea. I already have a Swamp Thing tattoo idea.
I thought you were gonna say you already have a Swamp Thing tattoo, and I was gonna be like, excuse me?
No, you wouldn't. But basically, okay. So to bring it back to the book, we have this awesome shot. And then to what we were just talking about, we have those human recycled pieces of the Unmen. And who's that dude in the middle? It's Arcane. He's back. Oh, look at that mug. Oh man. Imagine being his dentist.
So the reason he looks like this is that, it's like, no, we thought he died. No, we didn't really. But after he crashed to the bottom, it was his Unmen who put him back together. So he's not done in the best way, but they did their darndest.
Yeah. So he basically told his subjects how to put himself back together and transplant his brain into the recycled parts, basically like he did to his own brother, Abigail's dad.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Patchwork Man. And then if you keep jumping, Swampy's like, "Ah, you son of a bitch." So then they have the face off, and they get to fighting, and it gets to basically,
And for some reason, Arcane just happens to keep using the word like slave and like some connotation.
yeah, again, subtle.
Of like, oh, I'll be using you as my slave, and like continuing other things like that too. Like, I'll command you to do things, and you must listen. So like, even when he wasn't saying slave, it was like saying slave.
My fault for not calling this out, but there's a frame on page 12 where Arcane is arms on the ground and kicking Swamp Thing up. It reminds me of Sebulba from Star Wars Episode 1. The pod racer.
That helped. Thank you.
Okay.
So I really love Star Wars, but I don't like telling people I do because I don't know like the names of planets or people, or and I don't know the like the actual details. And Star Wars nerds are the literal.
Oh, you like Star Wars? Name 5 wars.
I can name 5 stars. I can name a bunch of constellations.
I love astronomy. To
Yeah,
the point where it was my minor. I'm shit with constellations.
Do you watch meteor showers or anything? I put them all in my planner.
I try to, and I always forget.
I'll let you know then, because I watch not all of them, obviously, but like the Perseids are my favorite, and they just ended. But
yeah,
I'm a big space nerd. I had no idea.
Huh. You didn't know it was my minor? I did like research on stars that pulsated.
I have so many books on like stars and stuff. Like that's like one of my main like passions and interests.
There's one year for the American Astronomical Society conference, like my name is on a poster.
Oh my god, I'd love to see that. Wait, but like, okay, so we are actually not far from the like only like no like light park, no light pollution park. It's like Cherry Street Park or something like that. It's like 2 hours away or something like that. So if you ever want to go, I really want to go.
Yeah.
So if you want to go look at a bunch of stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally when you go there, like you have to use like these special like red headlights that they use to like get where you're going. Like there's nothing.
I think my running headlamp has a red setting.
That's so cool. Oh yeah, it's like it's so. Ooh, I'm so excited. I wanted to go there forever. I just haven't actually like made the commitment because
it's awesome. Because you can't find anybody. Well, you did.
I love doing things alone, but like going out and like staying the night in the middle of like a park is terrifying alone. So like, you know.
Yeah. Looking at these frames right here, I think this is a good example of where the coloring comes up again. Like we talked about that a couple times. You have in the deep blues in that top left frame, and the big and the red behind Arcane in the bottom frame. In the Absolute Edition, there's a bit of a purple backdrop to the gravestones, and it's like a lavender, and I think it's the same color of lavender behind Arcane. So it's really interesting in that point, like seeing the contrast there. Like, I can show you.
Please.
Oh no, I lost my bookmark.
Ooh, I like that so much more. Yeah, okay.
I love the red because it stands out so good, but
yours like matches more. I think that
this is more cohesive.
I think that this might actually be closer to how it originally was, just because I think purple backgrounds were hard back then, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. But I am not going to scoff at Jose Villarubia's coloring choice because dude's a master. He pays respect.
I love this panel. It's just very like it. I mean, Swampy is a gothic horror, right? And it's probably my favorite instance of a gothic horror, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it goes farther than just gothic horror, but this very much pays homage to just like the creepy atmosphere, which is where that.
Yeah, that could have been. This could have been in any story, but at this point, Arcane and his unman have Swamp Thing on the ropes, or I guess in the ground. They basically bury him, and then you turn the page right after this frame, and Black Jubal and his peers,
his posse,
they come out of the grave, and they're like,
And it's been stirring for a while. Like, they were not happy, and, like,
Yeah,
trying to
you
ignore
get
it.
that little bit of a rustling and
Yeah.
stuff, and I think it's that recognition of that word because they kept on using the word slave that, like,
Yeah, they were
it
already
kind of
unhappy, and then they were like, "This guy needs to be put in his place." Like,
it's that kind of Beetlejuice or Candyman thing where you say it enough and someone's gonna come out to speak. Um, so it's not even Swamp Thing at this point, it's Jubal and his
they
friend.
literally are like, "Sit down, boy. We got this. Don't you worry your sweet
We
little
have
head."
we have come to repay a debt.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, okay. I'm gonna step back. This is all yours, guys. Go
They
for it."
specifically were like, "You chill," and he's like, he's suffering from his wound, so he kind of passes out. He's like, "All right, I got permission. Peace." Like, I can't keep my eyes open.
Yeah. So they do
How many text
exactly
boxes?
what they're going to do. And sure enough, Arcane is taken care of as much as villains are in comic books. So we get to the last page. Swamp Thing does what he does and he keeps on walking. Do you have a picture of the gravestone at the end?
This is my last live. Yes, because this is the last live. Yep, right there.
Elizabeth Bellum, right?
Yeah. Elspeth.
Yeah, Elspeth Bellum. So
Person talked to
that
me.
was actually a change in different versions of the story because what I'm looking at is Elspeth Diluvian to what I was saying earlier. The play on words going to Auntie, how she referred to herself earlier in the story, antediluvian, basically that it's basically made, evolved, or developed a long time ago. This is straight from Merriam-Webster's. Extremely primitive or outmoded. I think there's a little bit of it just being referring to like that. Yeah. Okay. So basically, Elspeth or Bellum. So we have antebellum. That
I only know
more
that as Faye.
strictly, yeah. So that story. So the Antebellum is the changed version, and it was first reprinted that way in Volume 2, number 18, and it looks like the digital versions are still like that. But the Absolute Edition that I've been looking off of has Diluvian, so it's back to the original.
Interesting. Huh.
I didn't do enough research as far as why that came up, but I think you can at least speculate a little bit on that safely.
Yeah. So between these two issues, which one did you prefer?
I think between these two, like they're very much more apples and oranges than other issues have.
I feel like it's happened a few times where we've been
It
like,
has happened a few times, but I don't have a clear winner here. It's just like these are two very different flavors.
it makes me appreciate this run so much. I can't believe how much I'm loving this.
Yeah, aside from like straight up slapstick kind of stuff, which I don't need in this kind of book anyways, but it would be cool to see like one or two funny frames of Bernie Wrightson drawing some slapstick kind of stuff.
I want to say there was something early on of just some human like trying to hit Swampy for some reason, him just sitting there like, and like there's been like silly little moments like that, which is all I really want.
Yeah.
I do love when in later books when Swamp Thing does make a joke with his like dry humor, because everyone just kind of like, did he just?
Yeah. I think if I had to say one, I'd probably say number 9. I know that's your preference.
I like Critter Man, but these were both like getting to consume these back to back, and like it's kind of something I like about us reading like 2 at a time. It like makes us actually dissect them more.
Yeah.
And so like seeing like ones like this back and forth really makes me appreciate them, of just like, here's a very like sci-fi, but with that morality of humans should be better than they are style, to this one where it's just humans are taking care of their own and strangers, and more of that like ghostly haunting fantasy. And it's just kind of a perfect duo. I love it.
Yeah.
And then next, did you have any final thoughts on this issue?
No. Since I had to correct myself on the art duties, we are done with our
Yeah,
first...
we'll do a little intro next time of any closing thoughts on Bernie Wrightson and look into any reasons why he left.
Yeah, this is our first real shakeup in creative. So I'm looking forward to the it won't be much of a different direction with the next issue because Len Wein is still writing it, but it's gonna be a shakeup. So
yeah, we haven't really been announcing the creators of every issue just because every issue has been Len Wein, Bernie Wrightson, Joe Orlando.
Yeah,
it's been like the same crew every single time, and it's great and it shows. And I think it might be kind of a weird change because especially by these last few issues, like it feels like it's a very cohesive team. It feels like everyone is like it's a very true like
they're locked in.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested to see like where it goes and why. Like after now we'll actually be paying more attention to creators. Before, and it's like it literally in the beginning will often say like a Wein, Wrightson, and Orlando presentation. Like it's just all of them together. Like just this is ours, and it really gives off the vibe of like it's not necessarily each person having one little job. It's everyone working together to create a story.
It's that same kind of thing. Like when I caught up to reading Bendis's Miles run in progress, and I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like Bendis is there. It's his creation. Like Len Wein's here. And okay, different artists. All right, cool. Different artists. All right, Bendis is ending his run. Saladin Ahmed is taking over. It's like, oh, this is change. This is a big change here. And it was amazing.
Yeah, it's
incredible run. And Ahmed's new Wolverine #1. Holy shit, it is good.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read Exceptional X-Men or Wolverine or Dazzler. I'm getting there. I haven't. My first game back.
I've read Exceptional X-Men, and I'm looking forward to reading the next one. Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep. I'd say 3, 2, 1 would probably be Exceptional, Uncanny, Wolverine.
Okay.
Wow. I haven't read Dazzler yet, but I did pick it up because there was I think a Marguerite Sauvage cover, and I love her.
Yes.
Very, very understated.
Yeah. See, Dazzler, there was an Ashley Witter cover that I love, and I kind of want to recreate. Where she's like listening to the boombox.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I'm trying to give all the new X titles at least like 3 issues, give them like a really good try. But it's really hard because every week they're starting a new series. Like it makes it so hard for me to keep up.
Yeah, and then you get issue 2s and issue 3s. Plus, there's, as far as budgeting goes, there's a bunch of other stuff coming out, like New Gods.
Yeah.
New Gods. Oh, can't wait.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sick of being an X-Men fan and hating all the modern X-Men stuff. So I'm trying to like, as long as I have like a series or 2, we'll be good. I really like, I know I'm behind, but I like NYX a lot. And I like X Factor. I know you don't like it because it's too similar to the one that you like.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest.
Mark Russell, man.
Like, I'll give it I love Mark Russell. I told him he's one of my favorite writers when I met him at Rose City.
Yes, I'm so excited for All In.
I
love that it's concurrent with a bunch of stuff. Like it's not really shaking up a universe, so you don't have to like say goodbye to the things you love. So I feel like that should make people not mad, even though people love being mad.
I need Kelly Thompson's Absolute Wonder Woman right now.
Oh, I love Kelly Thompson so much.
Kelly Thompson is so goddamn good.
Yeah. It's there's been a few times in life where like because trying to read everything Cloud has, sometimes I just kind of like grab a graphic novel that's just like a one and done, and I'll just grab it off the shelf and read it. And there have been multiple times where I've started reading a book and be like, damn, this is so good. Who is this? And it's like, oh, it's Kelly Thompson. I should have known. That's my bad. Literally like Heart in a Box. I was reading that. I was like, well, who does this book? And I was like, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah.
That's a cool perspective though, because I always look at the creators before I grab a book.
I often do, but now sometimes just trying to read something, I'll like flip through and be like, sometimes it's literally, I don't have that much time or maybe like mental energy. So it's like, this one isn't like not that this is a bad thing, but it's not Tom King wordy, you know? Like, I love Tom King, but I'm reading Tom King's Wonder Woman right now, and it's taking me much longer than the other books I was reading because the man likes words. And I love that. His stuff is like my favorite. But sometimes I want like a quicker book, you know, something a little less mentally taxing. So sometimes I flip through and I'm like, all right, yeah, we'll do this one right now.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying too, because I really liked Scott Snyder's New 52 Batman. I was like, how is this going to be topped? And then I read Tom King's like, this is my Batman.
I'm slowly getting all of my like deluxe hardcovers signed by like everyone I can. Like that's been like my fun little task.
Yeah.
Up here? No, number one's over there. But I'm getting like all of them signed by like every tiny little creator I can get. It's really fun.
That's cool.
Yes, Absolute Batman. I got to talk to Scott Snyder and he was like, you know, when you're talking to someone and they're really excited, it's like their eyes light up and like they talk faster and like they're using their hands. They're just really passionate about it. He loves this project.
I don't get that.
And you can see that he's like clearly giving it to all of his friends. And I think it's because he's like, I am so hyped about this. Like, he wasn't planning on coming back to like DC, especially for like just like a Batman story.
Well, he pretty much said he was done with Batman.
Yeah. And then he was like, but this project, like, it just worked out in a way that it was like, I can't not do this. And this is actually like cultivating something beautiful for creators and fans. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not there yet. I'm on like issue 10. No, I'm probably on like 8. I'm trying to read like an issue Wonder Woman before bed. I'm trying to catch up on every single book right now. Trying. Yeah. Maybe we should just start a new comic show. I used to do one every Friday with, and I would often have like Jennifer or stuff. So like I used to do them like all the time on Fridays, but.
Better keep me honest about reading new stuff.
Yeah, I will do it. Especially since con season has slowed down quite a bit. I got New York Comic Con, and then we have 2 little ones for Cloud. But other than that, I'm a normal person now. I'm so excited for this. But yeah, next week, same bad time, same bad channel, and we'll see if this one handle not Bernie Wrightson. I feel like this run is more well known for Bernie than for Len. Honestly, like it's symbiotic. Wrightson and Swamp Thing go together.
Yeah.
This run goes on for a little bit without Wrightson, but like I feel like you can tell by the covers that things start changing, and it seems like maybe they're trying to like rejuvenate it in some way.
I think I wonder how much of it is also like DC trying to rejuvenate everything at the same time.
True. We haven't read it yet, but yeah, so it makes me wonder that like maybe the Inside product just isn't as good. And if it's not as good, I want to read it faster. If it starts sucking, we're going to do like 3 or 4 at a time and just go there really fast. Yeah. Get to the next run because the next run
should be the Alan Moore stuff.
Yeah. But if it sucks, I want to shotgun it.
Yeah.
Same swamp time, same swamp time, same swamp channel. Why have I not been saying that? I've been saying stupid bat every time.
I've tried getting it in.
Same swamp time, same swamp channel. I'll try to get Alex to make that into like a little graphic I could throw it at the end or something.
Swamp Sean.
Same swamp channel. I like that. I'm going to go watch The Penguin now. I'm going to go drive over to my parents' house just to go watch The Penguin because that has been our bonding time. If you guys are not watching The Penguin and you liked the Batman movie, you should do that. I'm enjoying it. It's reminding me of, and I'm assuming this is part of the reason it came out at all, but it's reminding me of like Tom King's The Penguin, which I loved. I just finished it. Ooh, I love Tom King. Ha. Yeah. It's good. It's a good show. I really like the Batman though, so it's definitely like if you did not like the Batman, then maybe skip it so far. But. You have anything you want to tell the people? Is there anything you want to specifically tell Bumpkins? Anything you want to serenade him with? He's thinking. He's digging deep for this. This is just for you, Bump.
What about Absolute Superman? It's written. Jason Aaron's writing it.
Thank you. My brain was just like, it's not Philip. Who is it?
Yeah, it's Jason Aaron and Rafa Sandoval.
My friend Drew just got his first DC work solicited, and I'm so excited for it. We're going to carry 1 million of it at Cloud. I'm going to give it to every single person. I'm so excited. But I know he loves Philip Kennedy Johnson, and so I sent him a screenshot of Phil Kennedy Johnson and him because they're like my most recent like text people. So I was like, oh, look, my 2 favorite writers together. And he was like, oh my God, and next to him in your phone. But I'm so excited for his work. Same thing, dude. I've been saying all in on all in. I will be brutally honest. I do really want to read Once Upon a Time at the End of the World. I think I would like that. but I think I like scalped, but I think I just don't like Jason Aaron like big two stuff. And there's a few people that I don't really enjoy like big two stuff with.
His
Um,
Thor one was really good. I
I tried
love
reading 6 issues of it, and like I will force myself to get through it someday, but I think I just don't like
I
any of it.
loved Wolverine and the X-Men because I think that's in the past 15 or 20 years, that's probably the closest anything's come to the Claremont like school days of the X-Men.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried Batman Off-World, was not a fan.
Yeah.
His,
I was excited for it at first.
his recent Action Comics wasn't really into. I think he's a good writer. I think it just isn't for me, maybe. But I want to read.
I mean, I do like his original stuff way more. I loved Southern Bastards.
I only read the beginning of that. Isn't that on like permanent hiatus, or did it actually finish?
I think it actually finished. The Other Side is a great 5-issue mini. The artist is one of those people we will not speak of, but it's
Find out which one that
really
is.
it's a really tight story. It's
Okay.
like it's a perspective kind of changer, maybe.
All right. Yeah, maybe we'll just start doing a new comic show at some point. Maybe after something we got for years. I think at this point.
Yeah, at this rate, unless we pick up the pace a little bit.
Again, if it gets bad, we'll start shotgunning. But this stuff has been like really meaty. I feel like it's been good to do 2 episodes a show.
Yeah, Ween and Wrightson is worth
exactly. Yeah,
half an hour. An issue.
All right. Same swamp time, same swamp channel. If you were dazzled by Sean here, if you were like, wow, what a hunk, I need to follow him. I have all of his links below. You can go check him out. He's seantegrity on Instagram, on X, on Blue Sky. So check the man out. He does the stuff, he does the things, and he has to deal with me in real life. So you gotta give him some love. He puts up with a lot. Also, we should go to
Tessa's dirty work, except for the comic cleaning.
And also, we should go to vegan treats soon. But yes, everyone go follow Sean.
We haven't gotten ice cream like we said we would like 2 years ago.
I went to go like last week because they had an Earl Grey flavor, and I'm a sucker for like Earl Grey flavors.
Oh yeah, you got that London fog. That was a Swamp Thing, right? Wasn't the London Grey the
London Fog?
London Fog at Grindcore House, wasn't that called something Swamp Thing?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
That was right before we started this show, when we went down to, was it Joe's Comics?
Ooh, it wasn't Joe's, but I can't think of the name right now.
It was someone's name.
They're closed. So.
Hats?
I don't remember.
No, that's the Hoagie.
Oh, it was like, I don't know.
They have another location that's open though.
Yeah, in Jersey. But yeah, so on our little Philly trip.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like Earth Crisis. I was like, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, Sean's apartment is actually really dope. So he has records to us looking at him, like stage left. To the right, we got a bunch of books, and then it expands way more than you can see. Ooh, we're getting to see a little Sean thigh too. We're getting a show. Yeah, he's got really sick, really sick record setup. He's got really sick. He has so many like graphic novels and stuff. And then in the other room, he has a bunch of like gorgeous art. Yeah, he's got a great nerd setup. I'm jealous of his apartment. He's got critters.
You can see the Wolverine poster. My friend Aaron gave me that.
My favorite.
And I brought it to one of the local Allentown conventions for Rick Leonardi to sign it. And I love that his one remark on it was, "Oh, this is when they were trying to make Wolverine tall."
You should eventually make a video that's just like a nerd apartment tour and just show off a bunch of your shelves and stuff.
I could make a whole nother show of what's not on the walls because there's no room left.
Yeah, I have a little pile of stuff that I need to get frames for. But buying like a bunch of frames at once is a bunch of money. So I've been meaning to like parse it out, but I've not been doing it.
We should go splits on like bulk frames.
I don't know how that would work for sizes, but maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so sick.
He really is nice. I like when nice people
really
are
cool.
nice.
He gets to table at cons now, you know? Yeah. All right. It is time for me to go watch Penguin. Everyone, have a great night. Same swamp time, same swamp channel. I'm really eloquent. I'm good at this. And we will see you next week. Goodbye, friends. Thank you for joining.